WSFA's 70th anniversary special, sponsored by Bryan Jewelry.
Good evening and welcome to this WSFA 12 News special report. I'm Mark Bullock.
And I'm Valerie Lawson. WSFA 12 News continues to celebrate 70 years of service this year. And tonight we're taking a look at more of the people, places, and things our news team has covered.
Let's start with a look back at some popular faces you may remember. The first major player at WSFA 12 News was Frank McGee. He was the host of the WSFA TV newsroom, and he left his mark, later anchoring national newscasts at NBC.
The Montgomery City Commission says it will ask the United States Supreme Court for a rehearing on its decision outlawing racial segregation on city buses.
The highest temperature will be
Heinz Walters was the station's first weatherman, followed by the equally talented Ralph Williams.
Oklahoma came back to defeat Notre Dame.
The first sports anchor was Leroy Paul, known for pioneering the Auburn Football Review. That program would later be hosted by Phil Snow, part of an anchor team made up of Bob Howell, Gina Gregory, Mark Thornhill, and Rich Thomas. Dan Atkinson and Mark Wilder were other popular weather anchors. Bob Ingram served as political analyst. Dean Argo, Kim Hendricks, Jeff Shear, and Eileen Jones were other familiar faces, as were Debbie Williams, Barry Davis, and Michael Burdell, along with trailblazer Norman Lumpkin, the capital city's first ever African-American television reporter.
He was counting his gold.
WSFA wasn't just about news in the early days. Alabama Jubilee was a country music variety show hosted by Jack Turner.
Good morning, Mr. Stark.
Good morning, Catherine. How are you?
Fine.
Catherine Wright hosted the interview program The Guest Room, as did Adele Brooks. As for the kids, there was Cartoon Carl. Host Carl Stevens would lead a long career at WSFA, also serving as sports director and program director.
Now you make your statement, but we don't need you to make a speech.
But it's pioneering news program that is WSFA's legacy. News directors Jack Venable and Charles Caton remember the station's role in the civil rights movement.
We were running not only WSFA, but we were essentially at that time running NBC News. They requested, and of course we complied. We processed all of their film at that time. Did all of their network feeds out of our own station.
The civil rights struggle would not have come as far as quickly had not television been around to bring it into everybody's living room.
Anchor Bob Inman recalls how WSFA comforted viewers following the death of Governor Lurleen Wallace.
I think it helped the transition from one governor to another.
We have been here in this session now for several weeks.
And from the very beginning, WSFA 12 News was a leader in coverage of state government.
WSFA TV News was singly responsible for bringing about rule changes in the Alabama state legislature to allow sound-on-film coverage from the floor of the legislature itself. This had been previously banned.
This is WSFA 12 News.
And it's that legacy the current staff of WSFA 12 News works to live up to every day. The goal, to ensure another 70 years of television success.
You are watching WSFA Television, Montgomery.
One of the people who left a huge mark on WSFA and Central and South Alabama for decades was former WSFA 12 News anchor Bob Howell. Bob died in late May.
But his long career in broadcast will be hard to top. WSFA 12 News reporter Monet Stevens filed this report the day Bob passed away.
Good evening, I'm Bob Howell, and this is the news for the 18th of October.
It was Bob Howell's iconic deep voice that welcomed viewers of Central and South Alabama to WSFA's newscast every night.
Do you think that Arthur Rimmer acted alone?
Bob got his start in his hometown of Geneva, working at WGEA Radio, and later he would anchor the news and also host Dothan wrestling coverage at WTVY in Dothan. He made the move to Montgomery in August of 1976 to anchor WSFA's 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. newscasts, starting a decades-long career in Montgomery. In addition to being managing editor, Bob was a mentor to many over his long career in the newsroom, helping teach up-and-coming journalists.
Part of our nation's strength lies in its freedom of information and the communication of that.
And there was no one better doing breaking news events like election night coverage, where his knowledge of the candidates, the issues, and the politics was unmatched. Bob left WSFA in 1998 to join Montgomery's ABC affiliate, but returned to WSFA in 2004, where in addition to anchoring the news, he hosted programs like Newsmakers and Inside Alabama's Legislature. And he started a new franchise showing off unique places in this area called Exploring Alabama. Bob was a mainstay on WSFA's airways for more than 32 years until he retired on May 23, 2012. That was 13 years ago this week. WSFA News Director Desmond Wingard worked with Bob for years. In a statement, he said in part, quote, "I consider Bob as one of my mentors. I watched him growing up, and it was his professionalism that drew me into this career field. Being able to work at WSFA with Bob years later was a high point for me. I will always remember his coaching and him checking in on me after his retirement." WSFA's General Manager Mark Bunting released a statement this evening saying in part, quote, "Bob's legacy lives on even today and in all of those who worked with him and have heard of him in our community. We have lost a true broadcasting legend. We at WSFA extend our deepest sympathies to his wife, sons, and family."
I'm Bob Howell. Thank you for watching.
Mark and I got a chance to work with Bob during his time at WSFA, and he taught me so much and was so kind to me when I became his co-anchor.
Bob was a mentor as well, a friend to all of us in the newsroom. When he retired from WSFA 12 News, he thanked all of our viewers who were so loyal for so long. Stay with us. We'll be right back.